Welcome to the Viking Horn, official podcast of the Nottingham Vikings Ball Hockey Club. You can find out more about our club on our website and on all social media. For YouTube channel viewers, you'll see the links on screen. Anyway, let's sound the Viking Horn. Right, welcome to the Viking Horn. We're back for another podcast. Today we've got Mike, Dan and Benny with us as usual. I look a little bit, for the YouTube viewers, I look a little bit like I'm on a 90s TV screen, early 90s that is. Everyone else is looking pretty 4K. I don't know what's going on, but you can still see me just about. You join us at a very important time. This is, as we're recording, it's a Sunday night. Benny's Seahawks are currently beating my Dolphins 17-15, so things are a little bit tense over here on Zoom. Mike's Lions, newly acquired Lions team, are struggling as ever. Dan's team are the Atlanta Falcons. They don't play till tomorrow, so probably just as well, really. But his Liverpool side are currently 4-1 down to Villa, so it's not a very good feat. Yeah, nice. It's not. Yeah, it's not a good feeling throughout the team at the moment, except for Benny, but he's twitching a little bit, let's be honest. We'll start off with a bit of hockey. I think it's safe to say, congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning and their fans. They won the Stanley Cup last week. We all had a bit of a guess on who would win. Mike, you came out on top on that one. A couple of us said the Stars. But Tampa Bay won, fair play to them. One thing I did take away from that, though, a similarity, let's say, for them and ball hockey, not ball hockey's fault as such, but they found out exactly what it was like to win a trophy celebrating in front of no one but their team, their teammates and the TV and everyone that's around them. When we won our trophy, when we won playoffs, there's literally no one there. Right, and your dream is to score a goal or win a trophy in front of thousands of fans, and it was interesting because I wanted to. How did that affect winning that trophy? Do you think, can you imagine from their point of view, in an empty arena, or literally all you've got is the TV, and I don't know if their families were there somewhere watching them like the basketball have. I'm not sure, but it'd be a little bit weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a difference, though, isn't there? I mean, Stanley Cup, global pandemic, and with us, like, no one could be asked to turn up and watch us.
Well, yeah, there is that, but like what I'm saying is the feeling, the overall feeling, like we're there, whether they can be asked to come and turn up and watch us or not, we still celebrate goals and winning trophies, like we've won the Stanley Cup, but with no one there. They won the Stanley Cup. And I've just seen what Dan's got in his background. That is sensational. He's just saying, like, well, you shut up about the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is about my Calgary Flames right now. But just quickly on it, I mean, I wanted to bring Dan in actually on this. You've won competitions and stuff. I don't know what the sort of crowd you get at judo, but does it affect you having either a large crowd? Does that G you on more, or when you have a smaller crowd?
I think, like, personally with me fighting, I love a negative crowd. Last year I was fighting in Fort Wayne in Indiana, and my first fight was against the US #1, and I love that. You know what the Americans are like with sport, and they're like that with judo as well. And beating this guy in front of his fans was great. I know that sounds really sort of, sadistic and that, but I prefer that than having a home crowd, because a home crowd, it's like there's like an expectation almost. There's like people have come to see you. London 2012, there was 15,000 people in the X, and that was just like, I literally couldn't stop laughing and having a bit of a giggle about it, because it was just so outrageous sort of thing. But it's different for different people, I suppose.
Yeah, I think so. It was weird for me, and I'm following the Lakers, obviously, as you probably all know. They're currently playing in front of literally no one. I think their families are there now, watching the games. But for me, if that was your team, Benny, the Maple Leafs winning that Stanley Cup last week, would it looked and felt a bit weird being in front of an empty arena? Obviously, you've still won the Stanley Cup, and I know you mentioned in the last podcast that the whole thing is a bit of a joke anyway. Is that sort of linked to that in a way?
It almost feels like you haven't won it because you've got no one but yourselves to celebrate it with. I mean, there's the atmosphere that the fans bring to a playoff game that isn't there, and it's almost like it was just a set of games with a random trophy at the end of it. If the Leafs had won it, I'd have felt pretty sad for all the fans that have missed out on it, because it's near on 60 years, if not more, that we've last won that trophy. To wait that long and then not be able to be in the arena to experience everything from a fan point of view of going out at the end and celebrating in the streets. It's almost pretty sad from a fan point of view, and from a player point of view as well, because they've worked hard for it. It doesn't feel like there's a Stanley Cup win this year.
I agree to a lot of that, and I think that was the thing that came to me. It was like, obviously, I made the comparison to the ball hockey in terms of how many people who are watching. It's, that's the Stanley Cup. This is we won the Division 3 playoffs and league, which is a great achievement for us. And you react exactly the same. You're ecstatic at winning a trophy. But I'll link it again to myself and being a Lakers fan, as I can't relate to hockey because the Ducks aren't in it and didn't win. But
sorry,
what's going on?
I think we've got a questionable touchdown here, but
okay,
I think I might be stealing the lead from you.
Okay.
I'll let you know. I'll come back to you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's all right. So what my point was I was making was if the Lakers win the championship, which they're 2-0 up, hopefully go 3-0 up tonight, I'm going to be delighted if that they win because of everything that's happened this season. You had Kobe's death, which was shocking, and you almost feel like it's written in the stars that we're going to win the title this year. However, I'll be very sad that they have to then celebrate that title in front of no one really. And it's like, does it feel the same? Of course, for me, of course, it won't feel the same. I mean, I won't be there. I won't be there with them. But just to watch them celebrating in front of an empty arena will be very strange. And it was when I seen the celebrations for Tampa Bay Lightning last week. And but my emotions will be more positive because I feel like it will be just a little bit of it will be a good way of not getting over Kobe's death earlier in the year, but I feel like it's sort of written in the stars for us to do it, and it'll be quite an emotional feeling for me as, again, Kobe was my hero, was one of my heroes. He always will be. And there's a lot of emotional feeling and attachment to that, and I just hope that we do it. But it was just interesting. It was just something I thought I'd bring up with you guys because it is a little bit weird watching teams celebrate in an empty arena, which you are used to them celebrating in a like 20,000 full arena. And the same goes for when Liverpool won the title last year, Dan. It was a little bit odd, wasn't it, watching them lift the trophy in front of an empty stadium.
It was absolutely mental, to be fair. And that's the first time we've won the league since I've been alive. And I've always followed Liverpool my whole life. And then seeing that was weird. I don't know if you've seen the sort of sights of what Liverpool was like that night, but it was, they certainly made up for it in the streets, which was a little bit naughty. But yeah.
But I expected nothing less, and not in a bad way. Not in a bad way either. And I thought it was sad. You accept the circumstances that we're in. Don't get it wrong, but it was really sad. And I thought Liverpool, when you think of it from a sporting point of view, 30 years not winning the title, you deserve to celebrate in front of a crowd, and the crowd deserved to celebrate, and a lot of them did. I think it was just one or two sort of let them down by causing a bit of trouble, but you get that. You'd get that of anyone in that situation. I feel it's 5-2 now, by the way.
It's 6-2 actually.
6-2, but BBC's just said 5-2.
Just scored off an own goal. Hit his hand as well, but deflected, and just the keeper had no chance.
Okay,
I was about to say it didn't stop the Villa fans from celebrating like they won the Stanley Cup. That's for sure.
No, and it's also that the Seahawks that did stand, did it, Benny?
Did it? Hey, it's not come up on my screen, mate.
23-15, mine's saying to me now.
Good. So just while we talk about celebrations, what do we think about Stamkos lifting the trophy? Do you think he should have lifted it, being the first to? Am I talking to myself here?
I mean, no. I mean, what? Yeah, I've seen this. I've seen the thing about this.
Shut up, Benny.
Who do you think should have lifted it?
I don't know. I mean, like, he's been out for like 230 odd days. Yeah. Comes back to play like the last 2 playoff games and then lifts being the first to lift the trophy. It almost feels like, yeah, you're the captain at that point, but you haven't really earned it.
Yeah, that's a debatable one. Confirmation it is 6-2, but yeah, it's an interesting one. I think that sort of thing just comes down to the guys who are there at the time, and if that might have been something that had been agreed beforehand.
Definitely.
That's all I can say on it. Really, that's up to whoever. That's up to them. Whether you obviously don't agree with it.
No, don't agree with it at all.
No,
not earned it.
For me, it's up in the air for me, and I'd just leave it. I mean, I don't know if I'd allow it to happen. You know, if you as a captain, I don't know if I'd, unless it was something really serious. I don't know. But then at the time, maybe I would. I don't know. It's a tough one.
Don't you know?
He's a legend of the game, isn't he? He's a legend of the game, but does that make him deserve in that sense?
No, it's not like he's not lifted it before either, is it?
Here's one for you then. So if it wasn't Steven Stamkos and it was a player less known around the world and a not as big a name, would they have done the same for him?
I don't think they would have.
No, me neither. I think it's because it was him.
Because it's him, a legend to the club. Let's let him lift it first. It almost kind of like puts the bizarre twist to the end of the random Stanley Cup run that we've had. Yeah. No fans, and now a random guy just lifting the trophy.
letting every Tom, Dick and Harry lift the trophy.
Absolutely. Funny, Austin Matthews might as well have lifted it.
He might as well have, yeah. Right, Dan, I've noticed you've changed your background to Calgary Flames, your new beloved ice hockey team.
Very close to the heart. Very close to the heart.
Is there anything you've learned about the franchise in the last week or two since you've picked them?
Well, yeah, obviously they've been sat in third for a little while with 79 points. They've been doing quite well. I think they deserve more, but they did lose to the Dallas Stars. Wasn't a great match back in August. That wasn't great, But the thing is, to be fair, they were the Cowboys, they were the Tigers, they're now the Flames, and they're quite flippant, with what they're doing. They haven't been the same since they lost Jerome McGimlin. He's an absolute legend of the game. But now you got, as you said, every Tom, Dick, and Harry in there. It's just, I don't think they've got any consistency. They need someone's in the middle pulling the strings, really, and they just haven't got it at the minute. But next year, you never know. Never know.
Optimistic stuff. I can reveal to you why they've been sitting third for a while. Because they ain't played for that long. They've not played for a little while.
Not mate. You've been sat in third. I can't be disappeared. That's weird. Look at that.
I don't know what he's showing me. It could be the league table, but it's gone. It's gone. Yeah. The only advice for you is let's look ahead to next year. Dallas and Jerome Gimler, a real legend of the game there as well. So you were lucky to have him.
No, know what? The thing is, to be fair, he's only 43 years old. He should still be wearing the jersey.
Where's the commitment? He's seen the golf course and he couldn't see. Yeah.
Well, in July, he signed on. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. Let's hope for a better season. Well, they're not done too bad this year, but
it's development, Pete. That's a thing.
Yeah, that's. I think that's the word I'm looking for, and progress into next season. So we look forward to that. Mike, what's that you've got in your background?
It's HC Pustertal.
Pardon?
HC Pustertal. Oh. It's basically Stevie Lee and Brett Pelini have gone and they're getting a bit of European experience. And I watched one of their games this weekend, and Pearl scored. And they've got a very similar kit to Panthers as well, black and gold and black and yellow. And they've got they've got a guy that I've been speaking to, someone called Patrick Kirschler. See, I'm pretty well speaking the lingo now, and he's sorting out some jerseys for us and some scarves, and there's a few of us in Nottingham now that are going to be getting some merch coming through that we can hopefully support them, and maybe in the new year go over and a bit of a road trip. And Innsbruck's pretty close by if you wanted to watch Sam Hare play as well. But I do want to shout out to HC Pustel, because they've been actually really, really good with the new fans and getting us on board. So thank you, Patrick.
Oh, I've just noticed it's 31:15 now, Benny. Is that would explain the delight on your face?
That would explain why I'm dancing at the minute. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, it was a valiant effort by us, But as I said, it all goes pear-shaped in the end. Anyways, what's got you frothing at the mouth this week?
Oh, here we go.
We're sticking with the NFL, and we're going to go back to last week's game, and we're going to call out DK Metcalf.
We're officially calling him out on this podcast.
We're calling him out after this game. I'm fully expecting him to listen to this podcast and send in a formal apology. As a coach of a sport, it doesn't matter which sport I coach, albeit ball hockey, hence why I'm on this one, I look at players in a slightly different way, and I hate the ones that are cocky. He's cocky.
He's copying.
Cocky.
Cocky. Oh. Carry on.
What he'd done is he'd received a pass from Russell Wilson, one of the league's top quarterbacks, playing out his skin at the minute. And what he does as he receives that pass is he starts to celebrate before he's even in the touchdown zone. To the point where the other team went in and just slapped the ball out his hand. That game finished with us winning with just by one touchdown. And while our defence is leaking a lot of touchdowns at the minute, and we're conceding quite a bit, we can't be celebrating before we've even entered the end zone. No player should be doing that. I mean, in ball hockey, that's like celebrating a goal before you've even taken your shot. You just wouldn't do it, would you?
No.
So there's absolutely no need for it. A man of his calibre, playing at the highest of standards, celebrating before he's even there. To be quite frank, I'm quite glad it failed for him, really, because I think he deserved it being as cocky as he was.
It's almost like me having an empty net and then deciding to try toe drag 5 yards out of the net, and we all know that how that'll end up.
Yeah, it'll end up in an own goal.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But no, I agree. That I watched that game, and it was pretty embarrassing for the lad, and he should definitely get in touch and apologise with you personally. I think so. If you're listening, get in touch.
We'll tag him.
Yeah,
we'll
tag him in. Tag him in. Yeah,
he's already subscribed.
Right, something. Oh, that's 7-2 now. 7-2.
Oh dear.
Jesus. What is going on?
In a day of weird scores, it's now Aston Villa 7, Liverpool 2.
Yeah, I've given up. I've actually put the NFL on now.
Yeah.
There's a couple of really good teams playing. One's in black and orange. I haven't got a clue where they are.
Bengals.
And it's not the Dallas Stars, is it? There's a blue star.
That's the Cowboys, I think. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, they look good. 41-30 at the moment.
Who against?
Aston Villa.
The orange and black, sort of Steelers orange and black uniform.
Well, let me have a look.
Hang on. I'll find out.
Oh, Cleveland! They're playing against the Browns. They're 41-30.
That's the guys. Yeah, I knew it was them. Yeah.
Your Detroit side are getting pummeled against the New Orleans Saints, 35-21.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the Detroit Lions? That you know, have you done research on?
Yeah, them? Well, I watched my first bit of NFL last week actually, and I've been watching a bit this afternoon. A couple of things strike me. That why do they carry their mobile phones in their shorts? Like, if you look,
I think that's just padding.
No, I'm sure they got their iPhone or other phones are available stuffed down their pants. I'm just watching a bit now actually. Hang on. He's just taking him out, and he hasn't even got the ball.
How's
that work?
Well, has a referee thrown a flag onto the? Oh, because that's protect. Was he running? Protecting the run?
Yeah, I see. So they like man marking the opposition. Yeah.
Well, I think we need. I think you need to watch a game with us at some point. Moving on, you keep educating yourself, Mike, on the NFL, and by the Super Bowl, I think you'll have got it.
I will be as knowledgeable about my team as Dan is about his. Definitely. Yeah.
Brilliant,
mate. I doubt it.
I can't believe you're not watching your team play.
Lions have just got one though. It's now 35-27. Comeback's on.
Yeah, they like.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't come back for anything all season, so I don't think they're going to manage it now. Anyways, look, we're all talking about things here regarding we're supporting our teams, we're following our teams, and it's good fun. Something did annoy me a little bit this week. And I want to just share with you guys. I discussed it briefly before, I think. But a guy, there's a tweet sent out. It was involving baseball, right? I'm a big fan of the LA Angels, and it's the playoffs at the moment. We're not in it. It sums up my year, really, in terms of those sort of teams. But a guy who runs the team, the Twitter page, sort of mentioned, bear in mind these games happen late at night / early in the morning, was questioning people's support of their team because they weren't watching the games live, which really annoys me because, first of all, I've got to say, right, this guy who runs this page for the Angels, as of all the other teams, it's the UK fan base, does an amazing job at updating everyone with everything. I don't want to really get him. It's not to get him personally. It was just something I was a bit taken aback because it just reminded me of something I hear quite a lot of the ice hockey as well. People questioning the how much of a fan is this person. You invested in a team. You invested in a team, and you've become to love a team no matter what. You might go to one game in 10 years for whatever reason. It doesn't make you, in my opinion, any less of a fan or love a team as much, any more or less than someone who goes most weeks. That person goes most weeks or watches their team on TV most weeks or most days in American sport, especially baseball, because they can. And, you know, it was a bit weird because there was quite a lot of people agreeing with him. And I was a bit like, look, I talking for me personally, I get up for work at 5 o'clock in the morning once every 2 weeks. I then finish there. I have an hour's rest or 2 hours rest, and then I go and train and coach at Generate with Dan. Then the following week, I can stay up a bit later because I'm working later on, but normally I'm then training early in the morning, the following morning. It's just not possible for me personally to go and watch a team that I support in the Western Conference on the west side of America, who play their games at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's not doing me. But I love them. And I made the point. I love this team. But I made the point that, you know, as well, I went to the States, as I've mentioned before, obviously. And I got to visit the Angels Stadium and watch the game there. I went to watch the Anaheim Ducks play. I went to the Staples Center, not to watch a game, but I just wanted to see the statues outside and just be there at the Staples Center where Lakers play, an amazing place. And I also went to where the Dolphins play their games. And I don't mind admitting, on 1 or 2 of those occasions, I sort of had tears in my eyes because it was a dream come true to me to visit those places. And I couldn't believe I was there, and emotions got the better of me. And that's because I love those teams. And you know, whether I watch those games live or I watch the highlights in the morning when I wake up, that doesn't make a difference to me. You know, I just want your guys' opinion on this because it is something I've had branded around at the ice hockey. And you, Dan, as well, you know, how you feel about it. Because you're a Liverpool fan. You don't get to go and watch games very often. And it's just like, I don't feel like it's fair for people to comment. You know, that guy, this individual, as great a job he does, you don't need to try and make yourself look like you're a better fan than other people that support the same game or the same team. And
I don't even think there's like such a phrase as being a better fan. Like, you know, I could have a Liverpool Alive a Bird tattoo or, you know, whatever. That doesn't make me a better fan than someone, say, who goes and watches the matches every single week, you know, stuff like that. Because there's personal situations as well. You know, there's people who, you know, can afford, you know, a $2,500 season ticket, or who can afford to pay 50 quid a ticket to go and watch Liverpool, who even get that lucky. Because it's so hard to get a ticket for Liverpool nowadays, you know.
Yeah.
It's borderline impossible. You know, that does rattle my cage a bit as well sometimes, to be fair, because people base the fact that people shell out and, like, you know, travel the sort of lengths and breadths of the country to go and watch a team play. You know what? I can see the football better when watching it on my telly. You know, so, like, and, you know, if I'm dialed in more to watching a football game than, you know, watching it in the cop, you know, I do get that, completely get that point. I think, you know, I know you're being very reserved, but I think that fella sounds like a bit of an arsehole, to be honest.
Yeah, I just took that as a bit of a, there was no need for it, because you're calling people out.
Pete?
Say again?
Do you think he's an arsehole?
I thought that comment was a bit of an arsehole-y comment, if I'm honest.
Is he an arsehole?
Say again?
Is he an arsehole?
Let's go with yes on that subject.
When pressed, Pete agreed that he was an arsehole.
Yeah, but that comment, it was just that. And I don't, if I see something I don't agree with on social media or Twitter, I very rarely, you know, reply. I just in my head, I disagree with it. And you all know, you know, I'm not really I don't look for arguments in anything. I'm quite reserved, like Dan just pointed out. But this time I did. I wasn't horrible to him, but I was just saying, look, I don't.
You have been now.
Yeah, but it was just that comment. There was no need for it. You know, there's no need to call out people. People can support their team how they want or how they can, really, because. And I made the point as well. Fair play to him for if he wants to get up every night and watch his team play at the Angels play at 3 a.m. If he can do that, then great. But like, don't bring into question. I don't watch them live very rarely. I'm lucky if I do. If they're playing a little bit earlier, I'll try and watch the Lakers tonight because they start at 12:30. I don't have to be up early tomorrow morning, really, so I can try and watch that. Chances are I'll fall asleep after the first quarter. But I don't like people questioning my support for teams. I didn't even go to the Panthers. I went to the Panthers a handful of times last season, just based on time. I'm busy during the week, so during the weekends, I want to spend more time with family, my wife. And other things become a bit more important than they were, you know, 10 years ago.
You're dead right, and it's with a hockey fan base as well, because you hear, like, you know, if there's road trips or travelling fans, you're not a real fan unless you travel and follow them around Europe, or if you've got like 10 jerseys in your wardrobe or something. Yeah, you hear it all, with the hockey fans as well. For me personally, well, first of all, I agree with you. You don't have to go to every single game to be a true fan. I think it's follow them through thick and thin. I mean, let's face it, we've had some ups and downs with Panthers, but I'm still totally 100%, well, 99% Panthers. I'm a HC Pustertal fan as well now, but you know what I mean. It's like you just follow them regardless.
And that's the thing, and you have to appreciate, when we were supporting, whether it's English teams, like Premier League football teams, ice hockey, basketball, or over in the States or Canada, we have to bear in mind, they don't play at the same time as they do over here. It's difficult. We're relying on ourselves to except for the NFL, when at this time of night, or an Eastern Conference game, let's say, you put yourself against it to try and stay up and watch those games. You're going to wake up. I mean, the amount of teams I support over there, I'll die of sleep deprivation. You know what I mean? If I wanted to watch them all. But there's no doubt about it. If the Lakers lift that trophy at the end of the season this year, I'll be crying tears of joy because of the emotion it's been this season, and and that would be the same if the Dolphins. Hopefully, the Dolphins lift the trophy in my lifetime, or Forest get promotion to Premier League, win trophies, or anything. The Angels win the World Series again. Anything, but people doubting each other's other members, that other people's support is wrong for me, and I hear too much of it. It's not right for me. But like Benny, for example, Benny's just started supporting the Seahawks. He goes on like he's supported them for 20 years now, but it's nice. Like he's there wearing his hat. He's on it. We're talking all the time. Oh, what merchandise can I buy next? I'm really invested into this team. Dan will be wearing his Calgary Flames jersey, I'm sure, within weeks. You've already ordered it.
It's on. Sure, I understand. It's on order, that one. Genuinely, I had a little look at their training kit. They got some nice kit.
The Calgary Flames have, it is good stuff. Yeah. Definitely. I'd recommend investing in some of that.
Pete, you were talking about passion and sport. I just want Benny's opinion about the training session Friday. I thought that was one of the most passion-filled, sort of controlled aggression. I mean, there was like a stream of pictures that came out afterwards with just like a injury sustained. I mean, it was the best recruitment poster ever. But what did you reckon to that session, Benny?
That was an interesting session. I wondered where you were going with that, because there was a lot of that happened in that session.
There was. That's why I wanted to lead you into it. Yeah.
There was a lot of emotion from people reaching as far as they could for the ball and slipping on the AstroTurf, and like you say, there was the post that can come from it in terms of people's cut up knees and legs and stuff, and blood pouring right down their shins. It was nice to see that actually the body is on the line, trying to do everything you can for that ball. I don't know if it was the cut to the knee that ended up getting someone's aggression fired up to the point where he thought he could argue back with me.
Are we naming who this was?
You are. Who is it?
Yes. So you won't know him, Dan. He hasn't come down to generate, but Ben Inglis. During a drill, he doesn't like to lose. Passes weren't going his way. And he practically stormed off and started trying to shout at me when I said, "Get your ass back here." As soon as I put on my dad voice, I went, "You come and stand here right now." He soon kind of like turned around and walked back to the drill and carried on. So yeah, it was quite nice to see that. Yeah, okay. He the emotion was there with him, and he started to, I don't know, let it like ooze out of him to the point. It's nice to see that he still cares. And that other people in the team care, and that actually, like you say, putting the body on the line and cutting themselves.
Yeah, I think what he's saying, it's true. Like, as long as it doesn't go too far, you like to see that commitment in a training session. You know,
Yeah.
you don't mind the odd bit of bickering in a session, as long as it don't go too far. You know,
Yeah.
Ben's a top lad, you know, and a committed individual. And you know, you see sometimes he can get a bit like that, but he pulls himself round and he stays with it, and you don't
Yeah.
mind that because it shows his love and his passion for the game.
Yeah, I mean, it shows that in a time like this, where you don't know when your next competitive game's going to come in, you can start to take your foot off the gas a bit, and you've got nothing to really aim towards or aim for. And I think the fact that there was that little bit of aggression there shows that he's still got the care and he's still got the commitment, and actually is pretty much ready to go whenever the time calls upon it. So it was nice to see in a roundabout way. But Ben, if you're listening, don't do it again.
Actually, it was the first time I saw Walter lose it as well. He slammed his stick into that fence as well.
Oh,
yeah. It was honestly, it was one of the best sessions just for the way, the passion that people were showing. I loved it.
That's good. Yeah, it's good. Brilliant stuff. Speaking of passion and aggression, Dan, I want to go to a bit of a. We're going to link this into to generate. But first of all, doing the rounds this morning, your back wall looked like it had been on the wrong end of one of my jabs. Right, so what happened there? What happened there, mate?
I'll be honest with you, I was so tired this morning. I got up with my little boy at 5:30. It was still dark outside. Give him his breakfast and everything. Spun the washing. You know, it's getting light at this point. So I thought, peg the washing out. Went outside, pegged the washing out. You know, like pottering round. Went back inside. It was only an hour later when Libby come down. She looked out the back window and she was like, hang on a minute. We haven't got a ball. Our 6 foot high, 20 foot long brick wall had decided to come down, and I heard it come down in the night at about 3 a.m, and I didn't say anything about it. I just got up, had a wee, and went back to bed. And it was just there was just this big noise last night. Anyway, yeah, bloody walls on the floor. So Wednesday, the conditioning session Wednesday night for the lads is coming to sort my garden out. So cheers, lads.
A brick at a time.
No, that's fine. We're glad to help. So you knew about it, but decided to leave it for Libby to find out. Just getting that right.
Oh, no. I was so tired. I didn't even notice.
Oh.
I was about 7 foot away from this absolute wreckage in my garden. And I didn't, you know, when you're just on autopilot, just one of them things.
How do you think it happened then?
I could say something terribly rude.
You know who it is?
No.
You know who I think it was?
You know,
it was those builders from last week doing half a job.
It could be.
Yeah.
This
or the guy you told off. The guy you told off for doing his leaf blower too early in the morning. He came back for revenge, and
there you go.
Yeah, it could be one of a number of things.
It's a hell of a big leaf blower.
Yeah, well, you never know. It woke Dan up, you know. So yeah, disappointment for me, triumph for Benny. Final score from Miami, it's 23-31 to the Seahawks.
Yeah, and the final score from the Browns and the Cowboys. Browns edged it 49-38.
Wow, not too bad. Not too bad.
Can someone else just say 4-0 for me, just so I can hear it?
Well, the thing is, I'll say 4-0 for you, but as often is the case with the Seahawks, you're just leading yourself up to one massive disappointment when it comes to the playoffs. But you know, we'll see what happens. But you know, I'd rather know where I am than leading myself into a false sense of happiness. But
before we wrap this up, can I just ask, who is Seattle playing in the next game?
Couldn't tell you, mate.
Yeah, there we go. Right, so let's finish off quickly. Dan, we're just going to finish off with Generate. It's been a good week at Generate. I was a little bit disappointed to miss out on Athlete of the Week after my exploits on Wednesday, but we gave it to young Noah instead. Just talk us about the week we've had. It's been a good week down at Generate.
It's been a massive week, to be fair. You know what? Genuinely, we've started this Athlete of the Week thing this week, and to be totally honest with you, Pete, you're wearing the hat, valiant effort, but I decided to give it to a 12-year-old instead.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll live with yourself.
Just about.
But yeah, Pete had to sub in and ended up training something like 3 times on Wednesday night. But I'm getting the money's worth out of him. And but yeah, it was quite hard to pick actually, because we had the Team Hub guys, they were all on it on Wednesday. The Viking guys, that was the best energy we've had in the room from them. There was some massive sessions. The boxing sessions went really well. The lifting sessions and the CrossFit sessions with the kids went really well. There's a lot of learning getting done and a lot of effort. Plenty of energy, plenty of fun in every session. It's been a really, really good week, and I'm ready to give it a go again. It's so good when working in that sort of fitness environment, when people turn up because they want to do it. And that's what we've got at the minute. We've got a group of people who want to get better at stuff, who want to get fitter, who want to lose weight, who know why they're there, and there's been moments in the past, where there has been people who turn up and they're like, oh, don't, I'm here, or people who don't quite put the effort in, and, it makes me question why. And then it makes you sort of like, as a coach, and I'm sure Benny's been in the same boat, where you're just like, how do you get the best out of these people? And that's all you need to do as a coach. And I feel like, at the moment, at Generate, we are getting the best out of all these people. Which is like a massive tick in the box.
Yeah. So Pete, you're not sour about not getting that award then? I mean, you haven't got like brick dust on your hands or anything?
Well, I might have a few cuts on my, but I punched my own wall when I found out the news that I hadn't won it. But let's keep that quiet. But yeah, I'm over it now. Noah fully deserved it. On a serious note, though, he, as well as plenty of others down there, as Dan just said, working so hard. Noah's a top lad, and he thoroughly deserved it. He's trained really hard, but then, like Dan says, everyone has. It has to go to someone, and he got it this week. But I'm sure anyone could have done it. Really,
they'll be better, Pete. They'll be better. I'm
not bitter. It's a few beers tonight. I'll be all right, I think. But yeah. Right, we'll wrap that up then. Mike, Dan, Benny, pleasure as always. Thank you to everyone who's listened or watched on YouTube, and we'll be back very soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.